We welcome you to another edition of Derailed. That's Harry Mays. I'm Eytan Shander, and as you can see, we are not in our usual spot. We are in the best spot you can find, the #1 casino in Pennsylvania. That's Parx Casino. Inside, of course, voted by ESPN as the top sports bar in the country. Chickie's and Pete's, as you can see. We've got tons of crab. Listen, I don't know how many crab fries the two of us are going to eat over the next hour or so. But we've got our work cut out for us.
I don't eat when I'm on the air. You know that from working with me in radio for many years.
Well, we also have a video component.
And this is a video component. Nobody wants to sit there and watch me eat crab fries, even though they are the best crab fries on the planet.
You can work them in.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's what we do here, is we work in our mugs as well.
Right.
I noticed
the commemorative mugs. We're a little spiffed out today. I mean, this is a classy joint.
That's what happens.
Parx Casino. You got to look good.
We just took a walk around here, and they poured in about $50 million. Everything that you've seen with Parx is only getting better. Yeah. It's amazing, really, to see from what we know, the sports book that's coming.
It is coming.
It is coming.
It's coming.
And the ability to slot games that they have here, it's insane.
They got 3,600 state-of-the-art slots, Eytan, to be exact. And you mentioned the sports book. That's coming. And it's going to be temporarily housed in the 360 Lounge, which is actually, we went over there.
Yeah,
I've been in sports books. The temporary location is better than most sports books you've ever seen.
You're right.
And that's temporary.
And think about anybody that's in the Northeast area. Think about anywhere that's in the Delaware Valley. Think about anywhere that's west Montgomery County, Chester County. You've got the #1 casino in your state, and it's in your backyard. It's amazing. So we thought we would hang out with you here.
Right.
Now, we've got some great giveaways. We've got some people that have already showed up. It's going to be a fantastic show today. There's going to be some difficult things we'll talk about from a topic standpoint.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is, we're going to be having fun at Parx and Chickie's.
And it's Championship Saturday.
Huge for everybody.
Big day for college football.
And the gamblers out there as well.
Absolutely. And then, of course, we got NFL Sunday and a big Eagles game on Monday Night Football. As a nice segue, as they host the Redskins in a huge game, because what makes it bigger is the fact that the stinking Dallas Cowboys showed up on Thursday night and beat the New Orleans Saints, which puts them at 7-5. They haven't looked this good since that year, a few years ago when they went 13-3, and then got beaten by Aaron Rodgers and the Packers in the first round. But they looked really good and complete Thursday night. So this Monday night game is an absolute must-win for the Eagles. It would put them at 6-6. It would drop the Redskins to 6-6, one game behind the Cowboys with a game to play against them.
53%. All right? You win 2 straight. Don't worry about what Washington's doing. Don't worry about what Dallas is doing. Don't worry about what Green Bay or anybody else that could be hovering around that final wild card spot. If the Eagles win 2 straight against divisional opponents, Washington and Dallas, 53% chance. That's
of winning the division.
Of winning the division, exactly.
Yeah.
Now, that's better than 50-50. Granted, it's a small margin, but that's better than 50-50. It still doesn't feel like, and I think I know why, because when you look at, okay, win the division, make the playoffs, there's still then what?
Yeah, I know.
It doesn't feel like this magic can be captured, and I'm not saying I'm not rooting for them, because I want that 53% to turn to 100%.
No, I hear you though, and I think it's reflective in the fan base too. Ever since the season kind of got out to a clumsy start, and you started to see the Rams and the Saints. I know the Saints lost week 1, but they immediately got on a roll, and you started to be. It's not that they were winning games, it's how they were winning games. Like this dynamic offense, putting up 40, 50 points a week, and you're like, we can't keep up with this. And that's gone back to late September, early October. You started to get that feeling in your gut that, well, we might make the playoffs, but we can't hang with either of those 2 teams.
So there's this defeatist mentality that it's like, all right.
But you still want to win a division.
Because you don't want to finish behind Dallas.
I don't want Dallas to get in the playoffs.
Me neither.
I know all the networks do. I understand.
Neither.
I know Troy Aikman likes doing home games and not having to leave.
Can he criticize Dak Prescott once?
Yeah, by the way,
once.
I'm a little worried about Troy. I like him a lot on the air.
Sure.
His face is very red. Did you notice that Thursday night?
Was he drinking?
No, he's not drinking. But I was texting with our old boss, actually. I go, yeah, he knows Aikman. I said, what's up with Troy?
Our old boss before the boss.
Yeah.
The guy who's out west.
Yes.
I mean, what's going on with Troy Aikman?
I'm a little worried about him.
What happened to his
I don't
face?
know. I don't know.
You sure he wasn't out sunburned? Like,
That's what it kind of looked like. He was under a sun lamp or something pregame for a little too long.
what did Buck look like? Did he look
Buck
normal?
looked normal. He looked fine.
All right, so there wasn't any like CGI stuff. done
No,
to his face?
no.
You sure this wasn't a doctored pic that you saw?
It wasn't. I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to derail me off the topic of football. Okay.
No,
We're gonna
no.
stick to football.
I want to get back to the Eagles.
But the Eagles are going to get some cornerbacks back this week. It looks like.
Now, no Jalen Mills.
No,
But
no.
Rasul Douglas is back, and
Sidney Jones, I believe,
is
is due back too. So they should get some help because I can't believe they actually won the game against the Giants. I mean, they were losing 19-0 in the first half,
It's
and
brutal.
you're like, oh my God, like they're not only going to lose, they're going to get blown out by the Giants, and then all of a sudden, Pat Shurmur goes like into turtle mode in the second half, where he's got two of the most dynamic weapons in the NFL.
One of them wasn't even on the
Saquon
field.
Barkley and Odell Beckham Jr., who, when he's not getting intravenous fluids from cramping up, he
Right.
cramps up more than me.
Yeah.
And I cramp up a lot in my
How
old
many
age.
times do you average a cramp on a back nine?
Well, not when I'm playing, but when I get out of bed, I've always got a cramp in my calf.
What year in your life did that happen where you just woke up and it was like, all right, I went from waking up and I can do whatever I want to now I have to wake up, gradually get out of bed?
I only wake up once at night to go to the bathroom, though. I don't have that issue, okay? But when I wake up and get out of bed in the morning officially, there's always a cramp, and that's occurred ever since I broke my ankle.
Oh, okay, well that's recent.
Yeah.
That's not like you turned 45.
No.
And it was
It's not like your
downhill
vision.
from that.
Like when I turned 47, all of a sudden I couldn't see anymore.
Well, you've been wearing glasses for a little bit.
6 years.
Oh, well, that's 47.
47.
Sorry, I didn't mean
Do
to
the
date
math.
you. I didn't mean to date you.
I don't care.
Here's the thing. I know in my heart of hearts the Philadelphia Eagles are going to come out and they're going to blow Washington out.
They're 6.5 point favorites, by the way.
And that I think it opened at 7 and
Yeah.
only dropped a half point, which tells you that. I still think that they're in the driver's seat after this game. And I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. We'll talk about this the following week. But you know what's going to happen. We're back to that typical fatalist mentality of they're going to crush the Skins and get their ass handed to them by Dallas. Because they already had an opportunity to come up big on Dallas, and they didn't.
No, they didn't. If Dallas plays the way they did Thursday night, I don't see the Eagles beating.
Well, what's to say that they wouldn't? Their defense is all over the place.
Their defense is phenomenal. They got great cornerbacks. They've been assembling this roster for the last 2 or 3 drafts, and you got to give Jerry Jones' son some credit here because he's basically the guy out there working with the scouts, picking them.
Right.
And they got a Wouzier in the draft that was on the Ben Franklin Parkway. Remember when Drew Pearson was getting booed?
Right.
And it overshadowed the draft pick, which was a Wouzier out of Colorado. I'm like, I feel bad for that kid. He's a great football player, and nobody even knows he was taken because everybody's booing Drew Pearson. Well, that's the kid that they took in that pick, and then they got the kid Jones out of UConn, who I watched up close for a couple of years, and I knew that he was a stud.
Yeah.
So they're putting together a great roster, and Sean Lee. Nobody talks about Sean Lee not being there anymore.
Well, you don't need to with
Van Der
Esch,
Esch and the linebacker from Notre Dame that they took, who got hurt in a bowl game. He's turning into a beast. They're going to be tough to deal with.
Here's the thing that is under discussed. Amari Cooper is going to be a part of this team moving forward. And they've already integrated him 10 times better than the Eagles did with Golden Tate.
They don't have to draft that position
high
in the draft because now they got Amari Cooper.
But guess what? The Eagles do.
Right.
The Eagles, this is one of the most under-discussed things, and it's not going to segue into the idiots out there who think that, take a shot at somebody like Kareem Hunt, we're going to get to in a second.
Yeah.
But the Eagles, when you look at it, Mike Wallace comes in injured. Matt Hollins, I don't know who he is on the field. I can't trust him because he's been banged up. From young to old, you've got Alshon Jeffrey and Zach Ertz.
And they don't know how to integrate Golden Tate into the offense.
Saying. He's a rental.
Yeah.
And how long are you going to keep? Are you going to re-sign him? Great. I'd love to have Golden Tate back.
I'd like to re-sign him and get rid of the offensive coordinator. Okay,
Listen,
go get Bobby Petrino. He's available.
Does he come with the neck brace?
Yeah, and the motorcycle and somebody else's wife on the back.
I think he's got like 15 other wives.
Right.
Nobody cheats more on or off the field than Bobby
on
Petrino.
The field.
Right? I mean, I think we pretty much know that. That's coming. Yeah. There's no way that Mike Rowe is the offensive coordinator of this team
or Mike
next
Rowe.
year. Hard jobs.
You said Rowe again.
I said Mike Rowe.
No, you said Rowe because you're infatuated with dirty jobs.
You know what it is? It's the fries,
Yeah.
man. I'm just completely derailed because I'm just destroying these crab fries here.
Did you see these mugs here? This is a commemorative mug that they got here at Chickie's and Pete's. The Eagles mug with the World Champions, February 4, 2018. You buy this mug with a domestic draft already in it for $9, and then you bring the mugs back and you get $2 drafts from then on.
That's
the
amazing.
end of time.
And it's going on right now at Chickie's.
Right.
Inside, of
right
course,
now.
Parx Casino. So let's talk about the bad. We have to get to it. You know, everybody, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a way in which we can talk about Kareem Hunt that's different without it sounding contrarian, because neither one of us are going to say, oh, you know, he deserves to be on the team. That's nonsense. But maybe it's not so much about the latest incident with Kareem Hunt as it is about this reaction. For example, I think it was Rap Sheet, Ian Rappaport, right? Puts out this tweet where it's like a very strong statement, coming down on the NFL, coming down on the Chiefs, and coming down on the lack of their ability to get this tape that's in question. And I'm thinking to myself, the only thing that's different from this tweet and the one that you saw years ago when Ray Rice, the thing happened with Ray, is the name.
Yeah.
It's the name. It was the same scenario in which the Ravens, quote unquote, had access but couldn't get the tape.
Yeah. They don't want to see it.
Exactly.
That's
exactly.
the whole point.
So why are people continuing to have the same reaction to stuff that continues to happen even though it's not new?
I don't really know how to answer that. The only thing I thought of when I saw
asked?
this, not really. I'm kind of confused. But the thing is when I saw the tape and I looked at it once. Okay, I'm just like, this is awful. This occurred way back in February. How is it that we're just finding this out now? And apparently Andy Reid and the NFL knew about this since way back when,
right?
And just decided not to do anything about it. I guess hoping beyond hope that it doesn't emerge.
Correct.
The NFL should just hire TMZ to do their security work. I mean, they seem to unearth all this stuff before anybody.
Again,
TMZ Sports should work for the NFL.
I guarantee you that.
And monitor all these guys.
Listen, I guarantee you, I'll bet money right now, all right? And I know that the sports book will be up and running here. So
Very
I don't know.
soon.
I don't know inside Parx Casino if this will be up on the big board, but I would bet that if we went back and found tape of you on 97.5 at the same time this whole Ray Rice thing came out, you said the exact same thing.
Yes.
Which is the NFL needs to hire TMZ as their
find
investigative journalism wing.
Yeah.
Because that's the problem.
Harvey Levin at TMZ.
That guy, he should be the next commissioner.
He should.
Right? What's Goodell doing at this point? Put in Harvey Levin.
Yeah.
Is that it? Levine or Levin?
No, Levin.
Right?
Levin.
I know you watch the show a lot.
I do.
Yeah, well, why wouldn't
It's
you?
a great show. That's how I keep up with my sports news.
Exactly right. At this point, you're going to get more live video as opposed to some sort of biography or some crap you'll see on ESPN. I want the grainy, real
I
video.
go to ESPN for Scott Van Pelt and 30 for 30s. That's about it.
And games.
Yeah, of course, games.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But that's the only
Yeah,
thing.
that's it.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, Kareem Hunt, and then there was the whole Reuben Foster thing that happened, a couple days before.
They still haven't even talked to the police. The Redskins still haven't even talked.
Well, they're
to the
waiting for
police.
TMZ. TMZ is talking to the police.
Do we know if they've
in
hired
Tampa.
Levin?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
We're not positive on that.
But here's the thing. It's a different scenario with the Reuben Foster. Okay, and here's why. Until they find out that something actually did happen this time, you have to look at that case a little bit differently.
Well, who's
Because
to
it's
say
with-
that it's not the same scenario as what happened?
That's what
with
I'm
Hunt,
saying.
And they've just
no.
pushed it away, hoping that there's not a photo. The video, or
it could be
the
of a
report that
video.
I saw. There's an arrest report, and apparently she had a scratch, or there was something on her face that was indicative of a struggle.
Okay.
So my point is that maybe they're like hush hush, knowing what happened, thinking, oh, these police report pics won't come out.
Right.
And it's the same scenario. I'm not saying it's the same act.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's the same mentality of we can cover this up because the public won't be any wiser.
Right. No, it could be. Yeah, and who knows if video surfaces of that, then he's never going to play again. I don't think. I think with the video, man. I mean, I know these guys are younger in their careers than Ray Rice was. Ray Rice was kind of on the, emerging to the downside as a running back. Kareem Hunt is on the ascent. I mean, he's a star in the league. Reuben Foster's a good football player. Yeah, for 1 year.
There wasn't video, but there was pictures.
Right.
He not only took a switch to his son, and abused him. He came back after a year as having a hell of a season and was quoted this year. It was only at the top of ESPN.com for like 6 hours, but he was quoted again this year saying, yeah, I still discipline my son. I still go out there and whip my kids and stuff.
Really?
And, yes.
I didn't see that.
It was up there. It was up
He
there
still
this
goes
year.
out to the tree in the backyard?
I don't know.
against the-
Listen, I don't know if he's still
Jeez.
going to the tree.
Right.
Maybe somebody has marketed the Adrian Peterson switch, so you don't have to go cut your own one.
My dad used to use the belt.
Well, yeah, the belt was the word.
And you rolled that sucker over twice. You know, I mean that happened to me.
You knew you were in big trouble.
and look how I turned out.
It turned out
You know
all
what I
right.
mean?
You knew
I'm here with you.
That's what, I don't know if that's a good thing at this point. I don't know if you should be bragging about that.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, here's one video. Real quick, before we get to the other stuff. I think he's back. I think he sits out a year.
Think so?
He's too young and he's too talented for the NFL to say, there's going to be an announcement. There's going to be work that he's done. He's going to go through a domestic violence program. He's going to go through everything and say, okay, I'm rehabilitated. And then the discussion comes a year from now, well, he deserves a second chance.
That's if he's coached right. That's if he's, by his agent and all the people in his team. So, but here's one name to think about. There's going to be a lot of coaching hires again in January, as there are every January in the NFL. This coach at Iowa State, Campbell, was his coach at Toledo.
Okay.
So that guy is in line for an NFL job. I would be very curious to see where he ends up going, and that could be the spot.
Wow.
Because he coached him at Toledo. This kid ran against Temple in a bowl game a few years ago, and ran all over. And that was his coach. He then took the Iowa State job. He will be in the NFL most likely next year. Could be Cleveland.
Interesting. All right. I don't know if we're going to find this video, but I would love to see if there's any video to imagine it be a hidden camera GoPro fly on the wall to the doctor's reaction after a full examination in which Markel Fultz and his team are sitting down in the doctor's office saying, no, my shoulder. It's right out of Seinfeld where George Costanza is faking the injury with Lloyd Braun.
Yeah.
And Lloyd Braun sets up the meeting with the Mayor Dinkins doctor. And he's like, I went through everything. I'm just going to assume that you're faking it.
Which he was.
Well, then now he's back to more specialists.
I know, and he's going to keep seeing more specialists apparently until he finds one that says, yes, you've got a shoulder issue. This is what it is. Your labrum needs surgery or whatever it is. Yeah, it's just like it is in radio, Eytan. You remember these days.
Yes.
Where they put together
they
these focus groups, right? Because they have an idea for a show that they want to promote.
Right.
Or they see a show and they really want that show to be a different show, and they want to test it out on their P1s, the people that listen to the station all the time. So they invite them in, they get them Chickies and Pete's crab fries, and they have a little crab fry party, and they ask them a bunch of questions, and they are hoping to get the answers that they want. And if they don't get it, they have another focus group. This is exactly what Markel Fultz is doing to try to find somebody that agrees with him that he has a hurt shoulder.
I love it, man.
How about that?
It's the most transparent thing that you've seen. You nailed it. There's only one doctor out there. I don't know if he's real, but I've seen him on TV.
Yes.
Dr. Nick Riviera from The Simpsons.
Okay.
He's the guy that I think you could pay off and say, no matter what, this is what's happening.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
Now, we've got a lot more to get to.
We do.
The Philadelphia Flyers might be the most boring, depressing team in this city in a long time.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of lighter things as well.
And they fired a boring guy.
They did.
They took the most boring guy on the organization and fired him.
Well, he also had the most boring haircut I think we've ever seen in a long time. Kendall Jenner, there's a band coming up. We're going to get to that as well.
There's a petition at work.
As we mentioned, Derailed live here at Chickies and Pete's. It's, according to ESPN, and as you know, if you've ever been to any Chickies and Pete's, the top-rated sports bar in the country. Inside, of course, Pennsylvania's #1 casino, Parx Casino. We were hanging out earlier. There are so many great things going on. It's not just the state-of-the-art slots, the 3,600 state-of-the-art slots, the 115 table games that you have here. It's not just that specific gambling element that makes it the #1 casino.
And they got the beautiful Liberty Bell Gastro Pub, which you and I took. That is a fantastic spot.
It
but they've also got the Excite
beautifully
Center.
lit in there. Real quick, the Gastro Pub is amazing when you walk in. It's just so vibrant and it's so upbeat, the mood that you get.
And right to our left is the 1,500 seat Excite Center, where you and I peeked in. They were doing a sound check in there. They got JB Smoove, Cheech and Chong coming, Frank Caliendo,
wait.
Norm Macdonald.
Those are heavyweights
headliners.
right there.
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
That's
Cheech
right.
and Chong is coming here. We need to find the date.
Perhaps one day we'll get this show on that stage.
Maybe we can open up for Cheech and Chong.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I know
At
you
this
could.
point. Well, right. You never know at this point. All right. A lot more to come on this edition of Derailed.